Hi, I'm Shakayla, and this is my channel Shakayla Says, and today I'm going to be reading a book called Perfect by Cecelia Ahern. Okay, so basically, the book is about this society where instead of getting, if you make a mistake, you go to prison or whatever else, you get punished, instead you get marked as flawed, and then you're seen as a second class citizen, and then you're not paid as much, you're treated differently, and people don't really like you, whatever else. And there's this girl called Celestine, and she's basically been marked as flawed for helping this old man. So yeah, it's basically about her and how she wants to bring down the flawed system. I'm sorry, the book's boring. I'm just reflecting my feelings through my voice. The book started when Celestine was on this farm that her granddad owns, and basically she just wants to expose the guild, the people who made the flawed kind of system type thing. If you make a mistake, you become flawed. They made the system, so she wants to take that. Basically, the main villain of the book is this guy called Judge Craven, and he's her ex-man's dad, and they used to be friends or whatever, but now they're not, because he's the the leader of the guild, and he was the one who found her as flawed. And so she's got 6 brands. There's one on her back, and that one is the one that the judge guy gave her, but he wasn't supposed to. And if people found out that he did that, then people will stop believing in the guild, and they'll want it to be abolished or whatever. So she's trying to get out there and open that he branded her, and he's trying to stop her. Okay, basically she's got 5 brands. Most people only have one for and then she's got one on her foot, one on the foot, one on the tongue, one on her hand, one on her heart, and then the last one is on her back. But the last one is that's really painful, and the judge guy wasn't supposed to give it to her, and he gave it to her without anesthetic and stuff like that. So he was just doing it out of anger. Well, she's got 5 brands for lying or something like that, because it's not explained in this book what happened in the book before, but she helped this old man, and he died, and she was supposed to take up a deal with the judge guy, because her parents and his parents were friends, and she was friends with his son, so they were oh, let's take this deal, but she ended up telling the truth. He was well vexed, and he decided to give her 6 brands. Well, 5, and then he gave her a shock 6th one. Well, I don't really like this book, so I'll say the one thing I liked about the book is it ended, because when it ended, it was music to my ears. I was singing hallelujah, because finally it was the end of the book. I was this book was so boring, and I finally got to the end of it. I was praising the Lord. Okay, well, first off, the whole plot was boring and flat. Do you understand how hard it is to get rid of something that's ingrained into society, things that are there and they've been there for 40 years? You know how hard it is to get rid of them? And she literally just changes things like that. 2 months after she released this video of her getting branded for her 6th brand, the thing's literally been abolished, and all the flawed people have been freed. But at the same time, the whole system was flawed, pun intended. Basically, it just didn't make any sense. If you're a murderer, you stabbed up 16 kids or something like that, and you go to prison, but you come out, you're not counted as flawed. I don't think, anyways, because this book presents it as if you go to prison, you're not flawed, but if you're flawed, you're treated differently and all this and the other. But if you stab up 16 kids and go to prison, you can hop right back out and everybody treats you exactly the same. But if you help an old man on the bus, you get counted as flawed, and then you get treated differently by everybody else, because everyone knows you're flawed, and think it's some disgusting subhuman or something like that. Everything in this book was so convenient. It's everybody knew each other, going into it too much, because everybody literally knows everybody in this book. It makes no sense at all. You should meet them one time, and suddenly it's just oh, they're very important to the plot, and stuff like that. It just doesn't make any sense. They know people, I know they're in the same area, but they seem to know everybody, and they seem to have experiences with everybody. And I'm assuming it's a decently sized town or city, because they're harbouring flawed people in this place, and the government doesn't know. And if it was that big, if it was that small, then obviously you would know. Basically, in the book, she's she's treated like the second coming of Christ. It's kind of annoying. Like, the on about how she's the first flawed person anyone's like ever rooted for and ever felt sympathy for, but like at the same time, hasn't that ever happened before? Because there's like loads of court cases and loads of things in like society where people are like, oh, that was unfair, they shouldn't have done that, they shouldn't have picked that verdict. But she's the first person in 4 years people have been like, oh, I feel kind of sorry for her, it wasn't her fault, like she's done nothing wrong. I'm just kind of confused by that. I just find it ridiculous because she did the littlest thing, and I feel like you could do something more impact, and people have done things that impact people more, and people would pay more attention to it. I'd give this book like a 1 out of 10. I honestly didn't enjoy the book. It was boring. It was just the most vanilla book I've ever read in my life, and it's like, I'd rather have a book that's just straight up bad, like, and it's got, straight up bad, like, it doesn't have proper sentences formed, or the grammar's bad, but it's got bare plot twists, and it's interesting. I'd rather have that than a vanilla book, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, I'll just give it a 1. So this is the end of our review. Hope you come back for another one. Bye!